Tiffany Stratton comes back in the Rumble. Hope LA Knight comes back in the Rumble. LA Knight, Tiffany Stratton, Rumble winners. I know only in the perfect world designed by me does that happen, but it's what I'm praying for. I'm channeling my inner Drew McIntyre. I prayed for this.
I guess one thing that we should talk about before we get out of here is Rumble predictions, Fatal 4-Way. Not Rumble. Rumble predictions, Elimination Chamber predictions, kind of leading into, since we are on the road to WrestleMania, we can what's the word I'm looking for? We can blitz through this real quick. Take your delusions out of it, sir. Actual Royal Rumble predictions.
That is my actual Royal Rumble prediction.
You sicken me.
That LA Knight will win the Royal Rumble. I do not fear being wrong.
I know you don't.
But you know, in our personal lives when it comes to wrestling, I get like a 10% buff when I'm the only one who, come on now. Come on, it's my superpower.
Disgusting.
I'm probably wrong, but I do my best work when I'm probably wrong. So I'm legitimately standing by the LA Knight. An honorable mention in like the best I can do for you, because I don't think it's delusion, but the best I can do for you, probably Braun Breaker. Like, probably.
Well, Braun Breaker is still suspended, so I don't think he's going to be in the Rumble, which is what's changing my who's going to be the Rumble winner. But
women, realistically, Liv Morgan. I can't think of like an alternative, because any other alternatives I'm thinking of, because you damn sure know it's not going to be Charlotte. Like they will probably never give Charlotte another Rumble win. It could be Bianca, but the fact that they let Charlotte be the first 2-time winner, do you want to do the next year another 2-time winner? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, because Bianca's already won one, so it would be the easiest path to get to Bianca and Jade, but I feel like that feud will come out of nowhere, because I'm of the mind that we don't have the pieces in place for that feud to happen yet. Fight, cool, but the reason I don't think is there yet, so I wouldn't jumpstart it with a Rumble win. It's not gonna be Bayley, because again, it's not gonna be anybody that would become another 2-timer.
Right.
The way Santi breaks it down, he just talks about like who's legitimately threatening or whatever. I find that system to be a little flawed. That's just not how I reason it, because under that model, he's right. Somebody like Asuka has a chance of winning it. I don't think Asuka has a chance of hella winning it, because there's just why, it wouldn't. So Liv or Tiffany are my legitimate picks.
Okay. I know we're not there yet, and we'll get there next month. But do you have an idea of the 6 people per that you want in the chamber?
The 6 people? No. I couldn't even begin to speculate who the 6 people are. I'm almost positive Cody will be one of them, because I don't see him winning the Rumble. But no, he won't. He won't win it. So Cody probably be one of them.
If you can't think of the 6 people, at least give me, like with the Rumble, 2 people that you would want to win it.
That would want to win it. I wouldn't mind Roman winning that. I don't want to see that man win a Rumble. I know it's some hate. It's just hater. I have no reason other than just hating on it. I don't want to see him win a Rumble. So, but I could see him winning the chamber. But I also feel like if they're not going to give Cody the Rumble win, they would probably want to give him the chamber win. Unless they just don't want him in the main event this year, which is not the worst thing in the world. Because, see, I'm trying to... Punk and Drew go into Mania as champions, assuming that. You might let Sammy get in the chamber and win it after losing his title. Like, you might just let him get a mulligan. So I would want Sammy to win the chamber. Actually, I would want Sammy to win the chamber.
Okay. What about for the women?
Who are champions right now? Jade and Stephanie. Okay, so assuming it's Raquel by the time we get to Mania. No, that's not fair because I didn't do that with CM Punk and Drew. Stephanie champion now, so let's assume it's still Stephanie and Jade. Because I was gonna say Bianca could win the Chamber, but she won the Chamber last year, so
Yeah.
um. And if Liv doesn't win the Rumble, she could win the Chamber. Because see, in a world where Stephanie or Raquel is the champion, it makes sense for Liv to be in there somewhere.
Right.
So this was actually hard.
Yeah.
To win the chamber, the women to. Wow, Wow, who could come back that would? Do we have the pieces in place about who's already on the roster to win the chamber for it to? Who do you think?
All right. So for me, I'll start with the Rumble. I think we kind of had this conversation a little bit earlier. I think Obafemi is going to take the men's Rumble.
You actually think Obafemi's going to win the Rumble?
Yes.
I know you were entertaining Oba winning the chamber. You think Oba's going to win the Rumble?
Yes. And it's because of Braun Breaker being out definitively right now. That's why I think that. I think Obafemi's going to win the Rumble.
10% power buff to being the only person who thinks that.
And then for the women, much to my chagrin, it really I can't see anybody else who could or who in terms of storyline would make sense to win. So I will say Liv Morgan. It really grinds my gears because I don't like that woman, but she's kind of the only one that makes sense. I suppose you could make a case for you could, I think, potentially make a case for someone like a Becky Lynch or an AJ Lee, but it just seems like come Mania they're going to have their own program, so I doubt either of them are going to go much farther outside of that. Bailey, Lyra, Asuka, Rio, Io, they're all so ingrained within the tag team. Most of the time, tag team people don't do it anyway. Not that it can't happen, but it just doesn't usually. So just thinking about Liv, I know is in the tag team right now, but she is the exception because as a single superstar, she shines more than she does with Roxanne. I just think that's what's going to happen. Then moving into Chamber, I think Breaker's suspension would have lifted by then. So I think Chamber, we get Cody, Roman, Breaker, and 3 other people. Probably Logan Paul, because they usually have these types of high-profile matches with him. If he doesn't do something crazy in the Rumble, he's at least going to be in the Chamber. I think he's been in the Chamber for the past 2 years now. I think we're going to get Orton, because it's Randy Orton, and then I think we're going to get Sami Zayn. Because I think leading up to this, I think Sami Zayn is going to win the Fatal 4-Way. Sami Zayn is going to lose to Drew. And then he's going to go through the Chamber. I actually think Sami's going to win the Chamber. Now, one could make the argument that for storyline reasons, Breaker would win the Chamber, which I also wouldn't be opposed to. Not particularly a fan of Braun Breaker, but I'm just kind of ready for him to start doing something. The way that I see it shaking up, and we talked about this on the podcast, I think 2 weeks ago now. I do see something along the lines of us getting that WrestleMania moment of, ushering in the new guard, Obafemi beating his person, Braun Breaker beating his person, and then kind of starting off, we've been August by then, but starting off this new, because WrestleMania kind of feels like a refresh. Starting off this new era, as it were, with these 2 new dominant champions kind of mowing through the roster. Not that they won't have good fights, but kind of just being on top. Now, in this case where that doesn't happen, right?
Yeah, because that's a swing.
Sure.
That's a swing, my nigga.
In the case where this doesn't happen, I think the alternative is, I think that Breakker still wins the Chamber and Sammy wins the Rumble. And the reason I say that is because Sammy's losing this Fatal 4-Way no matter what. Like, it's just happening. Or rather, sorry.
He's losing the title match against Drew.
Sammy is losing against Drew no matter what happens. I don't think... I mean, they could, but I just don't think they're taking that title off of Drew before Mania. And hey, Drew even might hold it through Mania, and it's not until SummerSlam. I just think that they have been pushing this narrative for Sami Zayn for years. It finally feels like perhaps they're kind of on the track to start doing something with this whole I've never been champion thing. So if it's not Obafemi, I think it's Sami Zayn. I still think Breakker wins the Chamber in any situation. I think Breakker goes on to Mania to fight CM Punk, wins at Mania, and then either Oba or Sammy go on to fight Drew, and they beat Drew. I truly don't think Drew's holding it through Mania, but he could. But if he doesn't, I think he's losing it to one of those people. Just because I think, besides Cody Rhodes, both of them have reason to go against Drew. Well, I mean, I suppose a lot of people do, but how things have been built up recently, Obafemi is like, you're the dude who cost me my match with Cody Rhodes. And if I can beat you and take the title, that's just all the sweeter. And then Sami Zayn's like, I've been wanting to beat Drew for ages. And if I can do that and also get the title, so those are my predictions. I think, I guess I didn't say anything for the Women's Chamber. Here's the crazy thing. I don't know when their title match is scheduled to be, but if Raquel loses, I think Raquel wins Chamber. And I think Liv wins
Rumble?
Yes.
Wouldn't that be something?
Right? And if that doesn't happen, I was thinking about this when you were talking. Because you were kind of talking around like what happens if the title changes. I think if we're trying to do things brand for brand, I think if Liv wins one of the two, which I think she will, obviously she's going after either Raquel or Stephanie. I think that they would be bold enough to have Tiffany win the other one and have her have an honest rematch against Jade Cargill. I still think she would lose that, but I think that would give her an honest rematch. I'm not injured. I'm not broken. You weren't able to beat me before. You can't beat me now. And then have her and Jade have an actual match. This, is such a crazy thought because everyone, including myself to some degree, was really sick of seeing Tiffany and Jade fight week after week after week. But every time they fought, which I guess they didn't really fight all that many times now that I'm actually sitting and thinking about it, because they kept having squabbles, but they never had actual matches. I think they've actually only had 2 matches.
This is where rivalries come from.
Right. The first match, Jade could have won that, but because of her inexperience, she lost that. And then she won the second match because Tiffany was a lamb to the slaughter at that point. I think, genuinely, Tiffany could come back. I think she would win the Chamber. Just because everyone's kind of clamoring for Liv to win the Rumble because she's always been the bridesmaid, never the bride, at least when it comes to the Rumble. So I think finally giving her that's fair. I can accept that. I think Tiffany could win Chamber. I'm not sure if Bianca Belair is coming back just quite yet because apparently finger injuries absolutely suck and it hasn't been healing the way it's supposed to. Now, that could just be what they're telling us so that way we don't get our hopes up and she does come back. In which case, if she does come back, then she's definitely winning one or the other. I hesitate to say that she wins Chamber because, like you said, she won it last year. So she would probably... I actually do think they would let her win the Rumble if she comes back during the Rumble because I don't think they're going to take... I just don't think they're going to take one of those opportunities away from Liv Morgan. If Liv Morgan does win Chamber, then we still have our program, right? Liv goes this way, and then we have the setup for Jade and Bianca. I just don't think... I agree with you. I don't think we're ready for that yet. Also, I just don't think Bianca is well enough, just given the reports. So I think in order to give us some time, I actually do think they would run back Tiffany Jade for round 3, which I would be interested in seeing.
Now I really want Tiffany to win. Cause that was actually my early pitch when I thought about Tiffany winning the Rumble. I was like, well, Jade has the title, so let her come back and finish her unfinished business. But I kind of more or less let that go because Jade wasn't really doing anything, and I let the internet convince me that Jade's not doing anything because they're saving her for Bianca. But I actually don't. I think before Jade gets to Bianca, other than what I said about her practicing and sharpening up, I keep kicking this thing. Other than her needing that, she needs to exercise her demons first so that Bianca feels like a earned something. So as much as I would not like to see Tiffany take another L, probably needs to definitively beat Tiffany and then have her big moment at WrestleMania where she gets a good win so that the first, because I just don't believe if she faces Bianca that she's gonna beat Bianca.
Yeah.
So and I just don't like the idea of building people up just for them to lose their first major moment.
Right.
So, at my expense.
Yeah.
You know.
You heard it here first, folks. Oba and Sammy as honorable mentions. Braun Breaker, and then Liv, Jade, and Tiffany. It's kind of where I'm floating around.
LA Knight and Tiffany. I'm sticking to it for the chamber. Sami Zayn women's to be decided. I don't have an honest goodness pick for that.